So, guys, this is some of the fruit that we were able to pick. This is a full video just about harvesting. This is our cantaloupe, not ready quite, but this is the fruit. We only got two for the whole plant, but honestly, from the way it started, I was surprised we got anything. Um, it was a small plant. Those smaller ones did not live. It seems like the plant put all of its attention into just building those. I think if I look back, I would have cut off a lot more leaves and done a lot more pruning. My fertilizer did not come in time, so I did not get a chance to give the plants more. And that's a learning experience. I think I would have bought more fertilizer in the beginning of the season. Our grapes still the same size for some reason. Lamar tasted them, not quite ready, so we'll see. This is definitely our mint area. I picked a few and I'm planning to make more tea bags. They're really good. But they do make your bowels move. Very interesting. Okay. This side is definitely our pumpkin patch. We put it on a trellis. Next year, we're going to just let it grow wild, give it a lot of space. I'm taking a lot of those Virginia creepers because they're really all over the place. But to be honest, they're pretty. They really are. It's just that they're kind of like a distraction. But this plant gave us a big surprise. Though there were only two pumpkin plants initially visualized, as we searched and looked, we found a third hiding behind the shed. So it's quite interesting to see. They're almost trying to turn orange already. Just a beautiful sight. Those two that I found. But yeah, there's a third, guys. There's a third. I learned so much about gardening this year. Even if my garden seems to be going on the downhaul, it's been thriving since April. And so I really just I'm thankful, and I'm thankful for all that I learned and took away from the gardening experience. And I'm hoping for more next year. I think I would have done a lot more pruning, tending, but mother of one, wife, worker, physician. So there's just a lot to do in the summer, and sometimes you feel like you can never do enough. But guess what? There's only a certain amount of hours in a day, and I say that God allowed me to do what I could do in that day, and I ask Him what's the priority. But we did a lot in this garden, and I still encourage people to garden. I say your fertilizer, your compost, try to do it regularly if you can. Watering is important. Next year, I think we're going to do some kind of drip system to make sure there's adequate watering of the plants. To be honest, I was very satisfied with the output I planted, but you never know if anything's going to come of it. And for our small plot of land, I think we did incredibly well. So I'm I'm just thankful because I'm a beginner novice gardener, and to see all that has come about. Even in dealing with weeds this year, I kind of feel like we did better. And I can't even explain why, but I know that there was frequent weeding. There was a lot of mulch put down. I even had somebody come and weed for me maybe 2, 3 weeks ago, and it still held up. But once you start picking these bigger vegetables, the courgettes, it seems like the plant is like, oh, finally, we can go. And so I'm not into making them overproduce. Like, there's no reason for all of that. So we'll see and take it little at a time at a time. But I had to pull up all my corn because basically they died. Once you start harvesting from the corn as well, they start dying. So this is a lesson for me that maybe as long as you can keep them without picking them is the best. And then you just try to pick everything at one time. I think now I did not plant them all at the same time, so they weren't all ready at the same time, but I could have just let them. However, some of them started dying on the vine. So I feel like I'm satisfied with what I did. I got a little bit of a harvest, and I'm really thankful. I think I got 5 or 6 corns, and I had about 11 plants, but not all of them got to maturity before they started dying off. So I got a lot to learn about corn. I definitely know that it's not my learning curve is not over. There's just so much to learn. And in gardening, that's just how it is you think you know a lot, and then something else comes up, and then you're challenged in another way. And that's kind of why I took it up. I kind of feel like, life is like that. You think everything is a certain way, and then it changes. But I'm so thankful that even when life changes, God doesn't change. And I was reading some scripture to my daughter this week because I'm trying to help her to memorize them. And the scripture verse is from Colossians 3:15. It says, "Let the peace of God rule in your hearts and be thankful." And every time I look at this garden, I'm so thankful, because I'm like, nothing could have grown. I could have gotten zero harvest, but God didn't allow it to be that way. But also in bigger things in life, maybe things don't work out the way you want, and sometimes you see others doing well in something and wonder, like, Lord, why me? But it's better to let the peace of God rule in your heart, and don't be overtaken by jealousy or anger, but know that things happen in God's timing, and sometimes He wants to prune us. He wants to produce in us better fruit, and until that happens, we gotta wait for the thing that we're seeking after. He wants us to seek after Him with our whole heart. So learning a lot through gardening and just life. And yes, I basically am showing you everything I saw in just 1 week of gardening. Basically, you see a lot more of those Virginia vine creepers doing their thing in the garden. Again, the tomato beetle. I think it really attacked my beefsteak, and that's why I didn't produce any this year. Fortunately, that's a little tomato plant my daughter got from a garden visit during the summer. It's so tiny, it's not going to amount to anything, but it's doing its thing. This is me securing our very well-producing tomato plant. It grew, it vined well. This is just me trying to secure the blackberry plant. It's getting so tall. The leaves on the bottom are the ones producing the most right now. This is our cherry tomato plant. It's doing very well, but a lot of you see me picking a lot, but it's still a lot of green ones, and I'm just hoping over this next week, though there's less sunlight, that a lot of them start turning red. I don't want them to go to waste, and I have so many tomatoes that I started giving them away at church. People took them. I love the fact that I could give stuff away for free. It's amazing. But I did some harvesting earlier in the week, but now, at the end of the week, everything is green, so I have to kind of just wait. And I started cutting off a lot of the leaves to encourage the plant to focus on maturing the fruit. This is me filming one leaf as I try to pick stuff. Sorry, guys. But there's just a lot of tending going on, cutting off a lot of the dry leaves, removing just unnecessary leaves. I've even taken off some stems that have fruit on it because it's just too much. The plant, I did not prepare in advance for it to get so huge. Structure is important in gardening, and I think I need to keep that into consideration, especially if you're going to trellis. You need a tall trellis from the get-go. Okay, you need to build that thing when that plant is small, so that you can trust that when the plant gets substantial and big, you have strength to hold it up. This is me again securing the blackberry plant, very important to its growth. This is just me collecting a whole bunch of tomatoes that I cannot keep up with and eat. Again, more than enough to just give away. This is me tending. I cut down my grapevine that did not produce a lot this year. This is me going back into the garden and foraging for strawberries. Which I've been putting in my daughter's breakfast box for school. Very interesting. It's been quite an experience and a blessing to see what I can gather from this garden. It's been quite an experience indeed. Some things go bad or they get bitten up by squirrels. Squirrels have been attacking a lot of our stuff this year. So guys, this is just me showing you the process of taking out spoiled things, things that went bad because animals wanted to eat it, go in the garbage. It's really important to remove fallen fruit because they can also be a source of infection. And so I definitely encourage to kind of always be looking in the garden to see if there are ways in which you can go in and make things better. Definitely go in and start picking fruit off the ground because, again, yeah, they can be a source of infection and definitely something I'm going to be considering. This is our pepper plant. This is me just going through, just removing some of the flowers because that plant cannot obviously produce all of those, but it can make the peppers very small if you just continue to let them there. So here again, guys, we have a lot of footage of the pumpkin plant earlier. There were quite a few that were growing and doing well, but they just started to die on the vine as the main ones started to, I guess, get bigger and grow. I just see how plants behave. If you harvest a plant, it dies. If a couple are getting very big, the plant and the leaves and all the other parts of the plant start to die away. So it's like a constant fight almost for who's gonna win, who's gonna live. And yeah, so I'm learning a lot about that, but you want to produce a lot more before the plant starts dying off so that the others still keep going. So you saw the squash going by that same concept. And the same thing with the melons, like the ones that were beginning to live and start to open up and get bigger, just started dying off. Just within the week, you could see the change. So yeah, I just wanted to bring across that point there. So guys, you see this squash plant. I had to completely bury it with compost and I'm just waiting to see if anything will grow. It really didn't do well by being tied up and I learned a lot about that. This is my tomato plant. I harvested so much from it at the bottom and um, I got so much. So I'm waiting now again for the second batch of tomatoes to turn red and it is definitely something I'm waiting for. Our grapevine, again, the grapes haven't gotten any bigger, but they're doing pretty well. We're hoping to be able to harvest them sometime in August. That's Zuriel's herb garden. Yeah. And that's definitely the
It's not
blackberries.
growing. It's not growing.
Well, they're growing, but they take time. Our raspberries need to turn what color? Black. Exactly. So these are our eggplant. They're doing pretty well. About to harvest them. And our cucumbers, again, produce so much this year. This is just in a week. Can end up harvesting 10, 15, 20. And lastly, our strawberry bunch. I've been able to harvest maybe 5, 6 a day. Put them in Zuriel's lunchbox. And tomatoes. So throughout the summer, we've seen quite a lot of productivity. And it's just nice. So we're gonna keep things going. I even picked the smaller one just to see, if it tastes the same. The smaller that you get it. So yeah, we'll see. Gardening is not gardening if you don't also have flowers. So this is one flower, rose, that I left on the vine, but I've been picking all of them and putting them into um, our vases inside. It's just wonderful. The beginning of the summer definitely had more flowers, but as the summer went on, you get to see um, the rose bush mature and have some flowers with multiple petals, some with just a few. But this is just an example. So I picked them and put them in my little dish and take them upstairs. So it's just been really a nice summer in terms of that too. So whenever you think of gardening, always remember you need pollinators. So plant a lot of flowers and you have a lot of activity going on in your garden. So as you guys can see, our garden is bearing a lot of fruit, but we're waiting for them to ripen, and we're ready in August. So you might wonder, when is this going to happen? I have ordered some fertilizer, and I'm hoping that as I apply the fertilizer, things will be a little bit better. Guys, I finally got around to harvesting the collards, and we ate them, and they were so good. Had them with turkey wings. It was a lot of harvesting, so I'll let you see the process. But if you can't stick around for the whole thing, it's pretty boring. But I just cut off basically the front half of the collard. So this is me just tending and removing a lot of the leaves, helping the plants to realize that they got to ripen those fruit by removing the extraneous leaves. So that's just what we're doing here. Yeah, this is me also clipping some of the leaves from the zucchini plant that was on the ground that we had to bury. Um, I've learned a lot, but one thing I am a little bit concerned about is that all of the recommendations to tie this thing up, I did it twice and the same thing happened. The stalk just died. It opened up and it just died. Even way after the squash borer season, it just did the same thing. So I guess I won't be tying stuff up. That's my lesson. I've learned it, and that's okay. Guys, it was wonderful speaking with you, harvesting and picking flowers.
So we harvested some, guys.
And it's been a pleasure gardening as well, picking vegetables.
The eggplant is really big. We did not
You
need
guys
one
coming
more
in
eggplant.
our garden with our family, watching it grow and picking things and cooking. All great pleasures that we get to have. So thankful
It's
that
gonna make like
we have
20.
this
I
opportunity.
guarantee you.
Goodbye.